All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, where Gervonta Tank Davis had an exchange with Conor Benn that makes it look that he may be preparing to duck Frank Martin. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Gervonta Davis, Frank Martin, Conor Benn, and boxing fans in general in their very, very fickle ways. Before I get into it, though, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you have been around for a long time, thank you for your support, and thank you to anybody and everybody that supports and the super thanks in videos like this and comes by the live stream and supports that, where we do it pretty much every day of the week in the morning. But let's get into this, because bunch of back and forth took place on Twitter and on YouTube yesterday. Today is February 5th, 2024, excuse me. And in the aftermath of Conor Benn going the distance in his fight that he had in Las Vegas, pretty much Conor Benn went back and forth with almost every American fighter of note. Errol Spence, Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, everybody went back and forth with him, and everybody was talking about fighting everybody, right? So there was a lot of criticism that came the way specifically of Gervonta Davis for saying that he would fight Conor Benn. Now, what's the problem with him fighting Conor Benn? Well, the real problem is that if he does fight Conor Benn, that means he would not be defending his title at 135 pounds against the top guys in that division. Because as we know, everybody really just wants to see the best fight the best in their division. So we know Conor Benn's not the best. So why would Gervonta Davis want to fight him? Right? So clearly, since the highest ranked available opponent for Gervonta Davis is Frank Martin, perhaps maybe Zepeda, but Frank Martin is the one that seems to me to be the most logical pick, that means Gervonta Davis is now ducking Frank Martin. Here's the problem. Now, first of all, I hope you know that I don't believe that. And this is why I say that I don't believe that. Because people talking on the internet is just that and nothing more. People talking on the internet. When somebody says, I will fight you, that is not the same thing as fighting someone. I know that may be hard for some people to get their head around, but that's just the case. Whether you want to fight somebody and they don't want to fight you, or they want to fight you and you don't want to fight them, or you want to fight each other, but for some reason, there's a network issue there, or a promotional issue there, some type of contractual issue, some logistical issue, right? Like the sanctioning bodies not wanting to fight, all of those things. Like, for example, for a while, Arthur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol not fighting because of the network and because of the WBC. Those things happen. But when you label every time somebody says they want to do something other than what you want to see them do is a duck, is a very inefficient use of that word. You duck somebody when you actually do not fight them. When you actually have you've sat down and one guy says, no, I don't want that fight, and then they don't fight them. You can't call somebody a duck because on Tuesday they say, hey, I want to fight Subriel Matias. On Wednesday they say, I want to fight Gervonta Davis. And then you say, hold on, man, you're ducking Subriel Matias. Because yesterday you said you wanted to fight Subriel Matias. Now you want to fight Gervonta Davis.
And you could say, hold on, man, that was on Monday and today is Tuesday. When exactly was I supposed to fight him? I was supposed to fight him 10:30 last night in a gym somewhere. When was I supposed to fight him in the last 24 hours? But now that we have a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365-year news cycle, people forget that simple fact. The fact that Gervonta Davis gets in a back and forth on Twitter at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, right after a fight, does not mean that he is going to duck anybody or that he has ducked anybody. It just means he's having a back and forth argument with somebody on the internet. But people make so much out of every word that is said, everything a person says. You can't duck somebody that fast. And only when you fight someone else can you say that they did it. Not not as soon as the person says anything. There's almost no room for anybody to have a conversation anymore because of the knee-jerk reaction to everything that is said. If Turki Al-Sheikh says on an interview that, me and Al Heyman should do business, all of a sudden that morphs itself into a $400 billion offer that Gervonta Davis turned down within a day. No paperwork sent to the man, no conversations between the two people themselves. But just like that, that's a duck. Man, I wish we could stop running everybody's name down on every single solitary thing that takes place, man. And I don't care who that is. As long as if you enter into a negotiation with somebody and you turn down a fight for whatever reason, okay, I could understand that because you calling something a duck, depending on what the people say. Oh, he asked for $50 million for a fight, or he just decided he was going to leave the weight class and do something else and fight an easier competition. Those conversations, you can really have those. But whether or not somebody is ducking somebody just because they argue back and forth on Twitter or they argue back and forth on Instagram, it's just at this point in time, man, it's just really, really getting old. And this is a culture that we're currently in with a bunch of back and forth nonsense. Look, I doubt very much Gervonta Davis fights Conor Benn. Conor Benn is fighting at 154 pounds now. Somebody on my comment section said he was fighting at 147. No, he's not. He's fighting at 154 because he weighed into that last fight, I do believe, at 150 pounds. Gervonta Davis is 135 pounds. Conor Benn fights on Matchroom. Gervonta Davis fights on Amazon Prime. There are so many barriers to that fight taking place that it's so unlikely that that fight is going to take place that I just have to think you guys are certain people are just jumping to it and wanting somebody to especially wanting me. At least it seems like that to me because I'm listening to the comments in the comment section, wanting me to call Gervonta Davis a duck and talk bad about him just because these guys are arguing back and forth on the internet, which honestly, man, I'm not really willing to do. And I hope that at a certain point in time, the boxing fans as a collective can mature past the point of this duckathon that's been going on for the last 4 years. Anyway, and I mean not duckathon as in everybody's ducking, but everybody's accused of it every day, all day. It's obnoxious. But anyway, that's my take. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.